You're looking into the eyes of someone who embodies cancel culture.
Stop it. Get some help.
He's also an unoriginal hypocrite, and I can't stand that. Nobody should, and I hate calling people names. He's also the publisher of hogbeat.com, all a part of the Rivals Network, which I deeply respect. So, why am I doing this video today? Well, first, my name is Carter the Power. I run Power Hour SEC amongst other YouTube channels. It is my passion, and I want to have an even deeper discussion and take a stand for fellow sports content creators who try their best to be original. But anyway, why are we here? Well, Mason decided to do something you should never ever do to a YouTuber, which is issue a copyright removal request.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
It was for this video, and you can go watch it for yourself. But it didn't stop there. He decided to hit me, baby, one more time with another copyright removal request, which in this one includes a blatant lie.
If it was a lie, why continue this lie?
We'll get to all of that, but what I'll do is I have about a few more days to remove these videos, or else YouTube gives me 2 copyright strikes.
We talking about practice.
And if for some random reason I were to get a third, it could lead to my channel being deleted. Once again, YouTube is my entire thing. Hogbeat, well, they have a lot of different things, forums, a YouTube channel, so on and so on. So if this were to go away, I would lose one of the things that I love the most. And one thing that happens to YouTubers is you might not see these copyright strikes, and if you don't act on it, well, it can randomly lead to your channel being deleted. I think for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to include what my videos look like when breaking down Arkansas practice. Look at this high pointing the football, timing the jump, getting it at its highest point. As you can see, I focus on football breakdowns for the die-hard fan, and I don't just do Arkansas, I obviously cover all the teams. I do focus a lot on Tennessee and on the Hogs. I do a live Arkansas show every Monday at 5 p.m. Central. Now, let's be clear on the timeline of events before we get into all the specifics. He asked me to stop using his content for my practice video breakdowns. So when I did a third Arkansas practice video, I used none of Hogbeat's footage. But he still went through with the copyright removal request on the first 2 videos without prior warning, which is something you should never do. So I want to share the specific details of our conversation. Now, this is a lawyer friend of mine who said it's okay to publicly share Twitter private DMs because Arkansas is a one-party consent state, but I am not going to do that out of an abundance of caution. So this is allegedly, but basically verbatim, how our conversation went. But I want to be crystal clear, this is allegedly. So before I show you the Twitter DMs and why Mason is furious, I want to share with you how I make practice videos. Now, ironically, I will not be making any more practice videos because we're so daggum close to the season. But this is how it works, okay? I comb through every Arkansas media member's practice footage. I do the same thing with other teams when I do practice footage. And I find the best wide-angle clips, particularly of scrimmages where it's offense versus defense. So rarely am I doing an individual drill such as this. So it didn't just come completely out of the blue, but long story short, he specifically never told me that he was sending me a copyright removal request. Our relationship goes all the way back to October, right? But I've never actually met him. We'll explain what that first message means in just a second. So he sent allegedly this. I would ask you to not use our practice video on our channel anymore. But the thing that really drove me crazy was this word. You're just. And anyone knows I'm very non-confrontational. So I was trying to be as kind as we possibly could. I said I credited your video, which I do in every video, and I asked, do you also do the same thing, which is use other source video in your work? And I was definitely open to a partnership with Rivals. I love Rivals. I love 247. I love On3. It's always been a dream to work for any of those companies like that. But, you know, I just do my own thing. There's a lot of people that do their own thing. And ironically, one of my favorite Arkansas basketball writers writes for Hogs Beat. I think it's JC Hoops. I mostly follow him on Twitter. But we continue our conversation. He says, I see the credit, but I also see you have advertisers. He says, I know you're profiting off the video that myself and my employees work to get. We could talk about you paying me to use my video if you would like to use it. But the truth is, yes, I did run one spot, and Mason absolutely deserves his cut of, well, $0. And I promise you, I wish it wasn't the case, because I had been sick for a few weeks. Medical bills for me have been a pain in the rear end. And the truth is, Michael Beebe, B3 Lawn and Fencing Services, give him a call today. Guess what? He is getting so much run out of this. Actually surprised him with it. I did him a favor because he came by to check on me. Beebe has been a mentor for me for quite some time, and he does good work all throughout North Louisiana, South Arkansas, Central Arkansas, and so on and so on. He's also a deep man of principle and faith, so if you don't believe me, give him a call and he will tell you exactly what I told you here. So we continue. I only use portions of your videos. I'm not ripping the entire thing. It's a bunch of slow-mo reaction, which is common. As you guys saw, that is exactly what it is. I also said everyone else does this, including you. It falls under fair use guidelines. I then continued. I thought you were talking about the other way around in terms of a partnership. I also said that my work brings exposure to your brand. I'm self-employed. I have an organic audience that can help you grow, and it could be a profitable endeavor for both of us. And he decided to respond. I respect the grind. I just respectfully ask that you don't use practice videos from our YouTube on your channel. And this is the final message that he sent me at all, okay? I then responded. I've been crediting creators for over a decade and never had someone do this. They understand it's fair use law. I've had people also say, thank you for using their work. Thank you for crediting it properly. They also know it's breakdown content. And I also asked, why is it bothering you? Are you struggling with your website? Boom! I'm looking at you right now. So I am open to sharing the full Twitter conversation, okay? I actually took out a message where he said he didn't like my hometown. That's okay. A lot of people don't, but that's besides the point. That is allegedly how everything went. But I want to look at you and let you know that that was the final message, the message that he just sent. So I think most of us would take that as moving forward, don't use your practice video or Hog Beat's practice video in any of your breakdowns. And guess what? I acquiesced to his demands. So that final message was sent on August 12th. I released another practice video on August 15th, and I used none of Hog Beat's stuff. I used mostly Hog Sports, Trey Biddy, a writer that, you know, people actually do read. Damn! And you could see that this film was released on August 15th, and the copyright strike was released on the 19th. So I'm guessing he saw that video where I did what he said, don't use any of his video at all, but he still decided to pettily send the copyright strike without any specific warning at all. And that's what is crazy. No heads up. And yes, you are looking at a message on Twitter I allegedly sent him August 19th, 2024, saying, why would you do this? And I did what YouTube said, reach out to hogbeat.com and try to resolve this issue. And I know he's been active on Twitter since then. I mean, wait, hold on. Is this him using video that's not his own to promote his Twitter account? Wait, really? What? How could he do such a thing? Anyway, so this is evidence that obviously he's been on Twitter. So let's discuss fair use copyright law. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo basically saying you can use other footage as long as it's commentary and as long as you don't just blatantly rip it off and pass it off as your own, okay? So there's some gray area with this. Actually, there is a lot of gray area with this, and it goes down an unfreaking believably long slippery slope. So these are the practice videos where I drew clips from, okay? And as you can see, these videos are relatively long. Now, there wasn't a practice video 8 for some reason, but these are the 10 possible videos that I could have gotten clips. And it's important to note that I really only break down scrimmages. So as you can see, I went through and counted all the scrimmage portions of Mason's practice videos and divided it here by the total amount of minutes. Now, there was some non-scrimmage stuff that I included in one of the practice videos, but you see it was a maximum, it's kind of cut off there, 20 minutes and 30 seconds of 130 minutes of footage. So that comes out to about 15%. But here's the thing, I don't use all of the scrimmage footage, okay? So that's the absolute maximum amount of the footage I could have used. So I went back and tried my best to count the real-time seconds of Hog Beats videos that I use. Once again, very chopped and slowed down. And yes, practice video 1, 90% of it was probably Hog Beat footage. But you see, the actual runtime of their video is small. But this is where he lied, all right? On practice video number 2, he posted, once again, this is the YouTube copyright notice. He said it was the entire video that I used as practice footage. That is a blatant lie.
Just about everyone is willing to tell a little lie like this in return for a reward.
Okay, I only use 1 minute and 30 seconds of only practice video number 10, and halfway through it, I started using Trey Biddy's 247 Sports footage. You can see that roughly 12 minutes, we'll round up just for the sake of rounding up, 13 total minutes of 130 total minutes of practice video comes out to roughly 10%. Yes, so Mason caused this whole kerfuffle while I only use 10%. So how much money did I make on these 2 practice videos? Because obviously, because I used a grand total of 10% of all his practice footage, Mason wants his cut. So let's give him 10%. If Mason, if you're watching this, drop your Venmo below because I will happily send you 10% of what I made on these 2 videos, okay? Now, I want to show you this also behind the scenes because I get asked this quite a bit. How much money do you make as a YouTuber? So in the last 28 days, these 2 videos included, plus some other Tennessee live stream, all that kind of stuff, I have made a grand whopping total of $219.27 on Power Hour SEC. Now, I do not only have Power Hour SEC. I have Power Hour LSU, which is my main thing. Power Hour NFL is growing like crazy. So, Power Hour SEC, I still love it. I love college football. I still want to be a national college football analyst, national NFL analyst, all that stuff. Cool stuff. Now, what about these specific videos? So we go to content, practice video 1, analytics, okay? And as you can see, I made a grand total of $60, okay? Now, one thing that we're not factoring in is time. The truth is, I actually have to spend a lot of time looking at everyone's practice footage, right? I look at local TV practice footage. I look at, obviously, 247 practice footage. Roughly, this video took me about 5 hours to make. So that's roughly what, 60 divided by 5 is 12. And then, of course, I got a $5 Venmo from Keith. Thank you so much. I always put my Venmo and Cash App on there. This is for 9,000 views. Okay, so what about practice video number 2? Okay, on Braylon Russell. I love me some Braylon Russell. And I got 5,000 views, $23.
The money, y'all. There's poor people around.
All right, you would think it would be up to 30 because 9, 5, whatever. But there's a lot of different things. RPM, I did gain 5 subscribers, $83. Okay, so Mason, if you can, drop your Venmo or Cash App. I will happily, I'll give you half of this. I will happily send you $40 of the 80 that I made on these 2 Arkansas videos. So, Mason, I wish you would have just let this go, bro.
Why? 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 Why?
About to get juicy. Birmingham brawl this hat in the air. Now, there's one thing I can't stand. I can't stand a hypocrite. So Mason last year posted a clip from one of my film studies without asking first, and I want this to be clear. Everyone could do this. I love that he did this. It's perfectly fine. I want everyone to share my work. The more, the merrier, okay? For those that don't know, I do a film study of the game after every Arkansas and Tennessee game, and I try and get to as many teams as we possibly can. So here's a screenshot of the tweet right here, and we go back to my first ever interaction with them. You guys saw this earlier. I reached out to him, thanking him. Thanks for sharing, and he allegedly said, enjoy your work. So once again, I don't care. I gained a few followers from it. I appreciate that so much, but why is it okay for him to take my stuff and pass it off, and for me to not do the same, even though I am actually adding real meaningful commentary? Alrighty, so I want to show you the analytics of how much that tweet helped. This video did get 20,000 views that I've ever done. A lot of people are pissed off at Dan Enos, and this is the pie of where the views actually came from, and you'll see that 2/3 or 6 out of every 10 view came from browse features, which means it just pops up in your face on YouTube. The algorithm shows it to you and you watch it. Only 12% came externally, so people sharing it to message boards and all of it. Now, what's fun about YouTube is they also share with you the sources of the external traffic. So the tiny portion of the 12.7 views, it was Hogville, On3, Google, Facebook, Whole Hog Sports were the top 5. So we can actually go even deeper, and you could see that externally, I got 2,000 views, which is fine. I'll take that any day of the week. And you go down here, and you'll see that X only gave it 75 views. Now, how many people on X shared it? I don't know. How many of those 75 views were from Mason's tweet? I'll let you determine that on your own. So honestly, it was a very tiny portion. So I want you to give it a guess how many views Mason got from, stripping this clip from my video, okay? And the answer, well, it was double the amount of views I got on my YouTube video. Now, a YouTube view and a Twitter view doesn't necessarily mean the same, but as you can see, of the 2,759 views, let's just give Mason all the X clicks, which I don't think it's true, but of those 2,759 views, only 75 of them actually clicked my video, 2.7%. Mason also has Twitter Blue, which allows him to make revenue off of that clip. And once again, I'm not asking for any of the revenue, but it is hilarious when he's complaining about it and, well, he's doing the same thing. The same could be said about some of their YouTube videos. Now, I do give them a lot of credit. A lot of their YouTube videos are them just going to press conferences, recording it, and clipping it. But it is them actually going there and also shooting the practice videos. And to them, I give them a lot of credit for the hustle. I do find it hilarious, though. Like, there's a lot of these Zoom call press conferences with Dave Van Horn where the way I understand it, now they might screen record it and it's their own recording. Arkansas just sends them a link and they're able to record it and make money off of it, right? So Mason, according to his LinkedIn, he started covering Arkansas for Hogbeat since 2021. Didn't become the editor until 2022. So you can also just go to their videos tab, click most popular, and as you can see, it's a bunch of like press conference clippings that they themselves shot. But you can actually go down here, and once again, this was back in 2021. You can see for yourself that they do their own film breakdowns. Okay, now once again, this was from 2 years ago. But if this is such a crime, I would expect, when Mason is done watching this, he's going to go delete this video immediately. All right, here's another press conference clip that is clearly a Zoom call. They might have screen recorded this. This might be their own thing, whatever. They might have, clearance to actually post this video, but the truth is they never cited their source, all right, unless they actually did screen record this. And then here's an LSU source video. I know that this was sent out to all the media members. They got 9,000 views, right? So my practice video, where it took 5 hours to create, got the same amount of views as them just clicking upload on a link that was sent to them from LSU. And once again, there is no credit. The most hilarious thing is Mason profits off of other people's work without really crediting or adding any truly original commentary. Now, he sometimes credits, so I give him some credit for that, but let's take a look at this very viral tweet. So as you can see, I typed Monty Harrison into the Twitter bar, and the first thing that pops up is Mason Choate's tweet. Now, notice he didn't say via Arkansas Razorbacks. We can get into a credit debate. Sometimes when I post a clip like this, I include, where I got the video. The original Arkansas video got 25.6 K views. He added the commentary that Malachi Singleton and Monty Harrison, a freshman who turns 29 years old on Saturday. Harrison played pro baseball for the last 10 years. Yeah, I guess that's commentary, but that's just a fact. This has been a story for weeks now, and you'll see that he got 1.9 million views on this tweet.
We've had 1.97 million views. That's pretty viral, at least for us on Twitter. The total dollar amount is $30.94.
When we actually click on a tweet, you can see that underneath it, Pinto. That is so funny. He's probably the best Arkansas follow on Twitter. But you can see that there are ads that run under the tweet. And the way I understand it, this is actually someone that knows the inner workings of Twitter or X. He told me that Arkansas will get paid for ads that run in the video, but Mason gets paid for this ad that runs underneath his tweet.
Fun couple days on the app, boys. Fun couple days on the X app.
I know a lot of sports photographers, and they do great work, and I do this as well. I don't always credit the photo when I post it. In fact, I rarely, if ever, do. But everyone does that, okay? And we all should do it, but we just don't. This drives sports photographers crazy when you put your logos over their photo and you don't include where the photo was from. Now, you see the UTSA in the background. This game was played on March 23rd, all right? Many a months ago. Now, the genius that is Mason Choate might have been able to have the foresight to send one of his Hog Beat reporters to San Antonio, Texas, which is, I think, a 15-hour drive from Fayetteville. He might have actually sent them there because he could have predicted that Zach Root from a non-power school would have entered the portal and potentially picked Arkansas. Mason, who is the next Grantland Rice, with his media sports journalism eliteness, probably could have been able to send a photographer there to shoot this photo. Okay, so this might be Hog Beat's photo. Okay, but it's not. If you were just passing it along, you would think that Rivals and Hog Beat shot this. Pretty crazy stuff, if you ask me. Okay, and then we get to the actual website. More than likely, it was shot by ECU Athletics, and where they actually got the photo, well, it was from Zach Root's Instagram page. But we don't end there. Okay, right when you go and you get the click, the fancy graphic, boom, they're selling you a subscription. No problem with it. Love Rivals. Love On 3. Love 247. They also use other people's tweets in their actual work, okay? So I'm sure if Mason is so hung up on getting at least some money from his practice video shoots, that from the subscriptions, he is sending some of his money to Zach Root. Negative. Zach Root probably doesn't give a damn, okay? Nor does King James. As you can clearly see from the same Monty Harrison tweet, Mason stole some of King James's Instagram content and posted it as Mason Choate. Got a lot of views for it. We then get down here to Peter Flaherty, who found this clip. I'm sure Mason is sending Peter Flaherty some residuals here for including one of his tweets, a video that he himself ripped that is from the Worldwide Leader. I see they use it all the time. They use recruits' photos that are their own, that the recruit shot, unless, of course, they have exclusive access that we don't know about, to share clicks, to get subscriptions, share clicks, and get subscriptions. He has to copy other people in order to be relevant. So, once again, this is not their press conference clip. This is a Zoom link. So once again, they could have screen recorded it, but he wasn't actually there. If he was actually there, you would think he would probably use his own video to rip this viral Travis Williams clip. Now, you notice I said viral. This isn't viral, 4,367 views. What was viral was John Neighbor's tweet on this subject, and I'm really glad John clipped this. He got shouted out by one of my idols as well, Colin Cowherd, for the clip. And he sent it about an hour before Mason did. And Mason saw the trend, and he was like, well, guess what? I'm going to do it too. Whatever, it's the internet. All right, okay, here's another Mason Choate tweet. Okay, at least he credited where he got it from, Greenwood Football, Cash Archer. Shout out Cash. Once again, it's okay if Mason does it. It's okay. And it's okay on Twitter. You just can't do it on YouTube. Once again, no added commentary, breakdown of anything. Big hit. Revolutionary. This is an interview that John Calipari did. This is a basketball school, okay? And obviously he did this interview, I don't know when, okay? And as you can see, it is credited to Rare Rookies. Now, did Rare Rookies shoot this interview here with John Calipari? I don't know, okay? This is a basketball school. So let's just say Hogbeat tweeted out this link without this piece of content. It probably wouldn't have drawn the same type of allure. But seeing John Calipari say this is a basketball school, and Rare Rookies is a Kentucky site, so I would guess this was done when he was at Kentucky. This does draw my attention, okay? I think John Calipari is going to want his cut, right? Or whoever shot this interview. If it is a sign-up, give Rare Rookies some cut for actually making this a GIF. By the way, Hogbeat did not make this GIF. All you have to do is just search John Calipari and boom, click that GIF. I'm looking at you. So, I was going to let all of this go. I really was. You can ask my closest media confidant, Blake Ruffino. This is someone coming after my livelihood over something petty. 10% of your total work that you filmed and put together on a timeline and just uploaded, right? So for her to live by Mason standards and every single time your property was posted in a video, well, this is who I owe money to for making brief appearances throughout today's video. Please, if you are listed in the next couple of slides, drop your Venmo handles. Let's start with Ice Cube, the great Chris Tucker, and the producers of Friday. Now, I want to shout out Chris Tucker. I got a random FaceTime from him via a buddy after I bombed an audition at Broadway Comedy Club in New York City. And Chris, I really appreciate you for doing that. Anyway, Britney Spears, Max Martin, DJ Vlad, Boosie Badass, Allen Iverson, ESPN, Trey Biddy 247, and Rivals. Chappelle, Comedy Central, Will Compton, Barstool Sports, Mrs. Peach's owner, B3 Lawn and Fencing, Michael Jordan, Mickey D's, Nene Leaks, Be Smart, Birmingham Brawl, Elon Musk, Dave Van Horn, Arkansas Athletics, ECU Athletics, Zach Root, The King, Huddle, What Inside Family, and the family heirs of Grantland Rice. Hog Bar Barn, I didn't say that smoothly at all, John Neighbors, Colin Cowherd, The Volume, Greenwood Athletics, and whoever I forgot to mention. I am probably going to delete the videos, okay? I don't know how you guys are going to live without Arkansas Breakdown 1 and Breakdown 2, but it's just not worth it. It's $80. It's going to look weird, though, with Practice Breakdown number 3 without the first two. I, personally, am at peace with all of this, okay? Except for two things. The first is I'm glad he reached out to let me know that it bothered him, okay? I'm glad he did. But to not specifically state, now I might have missed an email or a call or whatever. I'm open to, I'm a very flawed individual, whatever. No warning. So one thing I would tell everyone, and this goes for anything, if you're going to do something serious, such as attacking someone's business, be specific with your intentions, okay? If you were going to send me a copyright removal request, tell me that you would kindly ask that I delete the videos. You should have just done that, but you didn't, okay? And that lets me know that you're insecure, okay? And you got to look at yourself in the mirror and see and ask yourself, do I do the same thing, which you basically do. Now, some of you are going to say, well, it's Twitter and YouTube. They're two different things. Well, you guys solve for yourself, and you can let me know who is worse in the grand scheme of things. And look, I really don't care. I really, really, really don't care. So the truth is, I'm at peace with all of it. I also want every member of sports media to succeed, okay? I really, really, really do. And I cannot state this enough. I don't care how Mason's Twitter is done. It's just, you can't do that and then get mad at what I'm doing, okay? Now, the next thing, support your small creators, all right? There's plenty of small Arkansas creators, but this goes for anyone, especially if they do something truly deep and revolutionary. Like, for instance, like James Foster of No Flags Film did a full pass rush breakdown specifically citing each player's favorite. It was so good, right? Support them, subscribe, ring the bell. If it's easy to find, a donation, a PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, send them stuff. I understand it's tight, the economy, whatever, but if it is something that really made your day better or really provoked your thought, now if it's somebody that is really national, and they make a 6 or 7 figure salary, sure, but if it's someone on the smaller scale that does something that really entertained you or really thought-provoked you, see if there is a way you could support them monetarily, buy their merch or whatever. The next thing is, and I get asked this a lot. I took this, I opened up the curtain of what life is like in sports media as a YouTuber and all of that. One thing I recommend everyone do is steal. Okay, the best way to make it in sports media is steal. Okay. Okay. But they use a different word, and it's aggregate. Okay. Everyone aggregates to a certain degree, but there's plenty of really bad aggregators that steal other people's content and all of that, and they have huge followings, huge 6-figure followings. Okay, and that's in sports, comedy, news. It's insane, right? So steal, curate. That's another word that they use. Curate, meme accounts, all that stuff. I try to be as original as I possibly can. I pride myself on originality, and that's why when he said the word just, that really ticked me off. Honestly, that ticked me off more than the copyright removal request, because when you say just, that means I'm just ripping your stuff, putting on a timeline, and not doing anything to it. Now, here are some of my favorite original, thought-provoking sports commentators, journalists, comedians, music, whatever it may be. Check them out. Of course, we all share the occasional viral clip or whatever it may be, but I would love for all of us to support those who don't just rip and share. And I also want to protect fair use commentary. I feel like I need to take a stand, because not only do I like this, I always say this, I try to say this in every film study, I am not a coach, okay? I'm not a player. Everyone likes my film study breakdowns. I'm giving you my best educated guesses. I had great coaches, and film study content has opened so many doors for me. It got me to the SEC championship game a few years ago because a fan provided me with a lot of monetary support to get there and go to the game. And that weekend was one of the best weekends of my life. Even though LSU lost. But, it has open doors to film study stuff. But the truth is, if I could just do this, and maybe I will just start doing this. I don't want to. But my favorite thing to do is what Josh Pate does, right? Which is just sit. I've done radio for so long, and a good portion of my radio career is just me sitting behind a microphone by myself. I love having co-hosts as well, but I've done a lot of commentary by myself just like this, talking about any sport. I've done this for many radio companies. This is my passion, just doing this, right? Like I said, Colin Cowherd's my idol. I grew up watching Stuart Scott, all that stuff. So this is what I want to do, all right? And I have, whether it's sports play-by-play.
Raheem Briggs has it for 3. Doesn't get it to go. Get it! Are you freaking kidding me?
Written content, I love it. And I also like educating people about some of the inner workings of the game. So I want to keep doing it, and I want to keep watching film content myself, whether it's practice or actual game footage. So people that actually do really good commentary, whether it's sports or anything else, support them, okay? Protect them. Because obviously if you are doing commentary and there's stuff floating there, a lot of times it is other people's work that they are commentating on. And there is a lot that goes into all of that. So there you go. Now, super long video. Don't know what's going to happen to it. But I do want it to be known that I'm probably going to delete those videos. And going forward, I'm probably just going to do game breakdowns, right? I want to get back to doing some practice breakdowns, but that's obviously really only matters in the off season. So there you have it, okay? I will talk to you soon. And once again, I'm open to any conversations with anyone about this topic. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom. One final thing. I'm always going to support everyone in sports media. Always. Okay? Support that. Even Mason. I hope he continues to and flourishes with this media career. Okay? Tonight we are doing steaks.